Cam Radio, Tony G, Big Lou. It's a sports book every Tuesday night. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening to us, watching us on YouTube. Lots to talk about. Interesting weekend. UConn going in right into the women's, going right into the. And if you watch our page, we had a lot of posts. We had associate on the floor there at the in that and actually at the Dickey Arena in Fort Worth. For the UConn Notre Dame game. So the sports book is everywhere you want to be. You know what's funny is UConn won 70-52, and they dominated the game. They dominated the game. The funny part was before the game started, you could have got Notre Dame plus 27.5, and that's what we did. And Notre Dame plus 27.5 was a winner. So it was funny. Yes, they did get. I mean, they were giving up a lot of points, and definitely UConn is at a different talent bracket than Notre Dame. Notre Dame still played well. Hats off to the ladies, but definitely, there definitely was a gap there. But it was a good game. Enjoyed it. I think it came out at 1:00. Then there was Duke and UCLA. UCLA is no joke. The ladies are no joke. Yeah, Duke. Yeah,
Man,
Duke took a little bit of they took an L on that one, but definitely was a good game. Yeah,
good game. But Duke just it didn't. Probably fatigued from the LSU game, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That was. I mean, that was a squeeze because they just got by that one. Took a lot out of them. Were you surprised about the Duke beating LSU? Like they're both good teams, so it could go either way. I
kind of surprised, but by watching the game and watching that center, I can't think of her name right now, but they couldn't do nothing with her. She was just dominating the game. Now they stayed in the game. They got the lead back, so they wouldn't lay down. And I felt like one or two plays cost them the game. But I think that might have something to do with it. Maybe fatigue from having to play LSU so tough, and with UCLA, being who they are, they probably, you know what I'm saying. They probably didn't have enough juice in the tank to run that type of to play the type of game UCLA played. And I'm thinking that's probably by design too, because they knew that they had a tough game against LSU. So they're like, okay, we're just gonna keep the foot on the gas, and then we'll see what happens.
They like I said, that's one thing that's so crazy about the tournament is, I mean, it's a rough tournament. It's it's kind of like that. I like when the UFC back in the day, man. You got to fight how many 5 fights in one night, and I mean, it's crazy. These young people are playing back to back to back, and not so much. But maybe they play on Friday, they play Sunday, but that's only. You're only talking 24 hours, 40 hours, and you're talking about bouncing back up and playing a game. And that's what it's not really. It is a game, but you're talking about life or death. You got to play life or death basketball. There's no relaxation. It's all, if we lose, we're going home. So that's That's added. That's that's a lot for anybody. Now going to the men's, Illinois just kind of keeps rolling. Just kind of keeps it just kind of keeps it going. I feel like going forward, I think they have a shot. Depending on the actual, we're seeing the actual road to the to it, but it was a good game. They won by 18, 20. No, something like that. 69. Yeah, well, they won by 12. So That was another good game. And I've been playing,
Mhm.
I'll tell you what I've been playing a lot of and had a good day Sunday. I went 7 for 8 playing live overs, picking them up in the third quarter. You got to be
Mm.
quick because they definitely changed, but I definitely, and that's 7 out of 8. Had a good day. In fact, the one that I did lose, Lou, I lost by a point. That was it.
Oh my
I was there.
God.
Yeah, it was a point. So and the overs and unders can be kind of tricky there going into the NBA wise going into the
Hmm.
third, college wise going into the second half with maybe 11 minutes left. You have to really kind of
Right.
calculate um and most of them are always. I mean, they usually stay about minus 115, 110. But yeah, that was we had a good weekend. All right, so then we
Yeah.
had Arizona over Purdue.
Ooh,
Arizona, another one.
Arizona.
Just keep
Man,
making, yeah,
they
just keep
just
make.
keep they just keep putting in work. Uh man, they of course, the closer to the championship it gets, especially when it gets down to the final four, it gets harder to pick. You know, it gets harder to pick who's gonna do what because these teams, they're playing some incredible basketball, and it always, the bracket is always like that. It's always
Yeah,
intense. Um, you know, I guess due to the NIL, we really don't have a Cinderella because people go where they get paid, but I do like it. I enjoyed the tournament. A lot of
yeah, yeah,
shockers,
yeah,
and it was everything. It's not over yet. We still got a ways to go, but now we're down to the nitty gritty. We're down to you know, we're headed to the last, four teams or the four best teams. So,
right.
but I don't want to jump ahead yet. We'll just stick where we at. You know me. I'm
Oh yeah, yeah. So let me ask you this now. It was 3:21. We didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to talk. We didn't get a chance really to talk about it. But did you watch the Duke TCU game?
the Duke
I'm
TCU
not no,
game.
not the Duke St. John's game. Man, that game was all that
Oh
in
man.
a bag of
Oh,
chips right there. That
best,
was
best,
that.
best, almost the best game. I would say one of the best games in the tournament so far.
I mean, they were getting it, and my hats
Man.
off to St. John's, man. St. John's came to play. I know they didn't come away
Oh
with the
yeah.
they didn't come away with the victory, but man, they can play. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
They can definitely
Yeah. They put the work in.
put the work in. And then you move forward, you got Michigan over Tennessee. Tennessee finally ran into the buzzsaw. Michigan beat them by 32. Um,
Ooh.
again, they were just outmanned. They
Yeah.
definitely were
Yeah.
outmanned, and and Tennessee they got there. Hats off to you. You
Hmm.
fought tough. It just was too much. Too much. That was one that went over on the over. If I remember, the over was 140 at one point. Um,
Yeah.
now, to me, the heartbreak is Duke and UConn.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that was a
Tough.
game.
Tough.
Yeah,
Tough. Yeah. It was a great game. Tough out, and of course all the sports army knows that I am not or never will be a fan of Duke, but
right.
I appreciate good basketball. And
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
they
Absolutely.
played some they played some good basketball. And but UConn just had, they had more will to win the game. But that was a great game too. Duke has played some great games this tournament. But
So
so they can
the
hold
great
their heads up
they
high. I had no sympathy for their loss, but they can hold their heads up high because they did play good. I'll give them that much.
so going into the second half, Duke was up 44-29. At that point, I thought, man, it's I think it might be over for UConn. It just didn't look good. They came out in that second half and they brought the heat. They brought it. I mean, I was like, oh, I mean, so the first half score was 44-29. Second half, and that was Duke scoring 44-29 to UConn. Second half, UConn scored 44 and Duke scored 28. Very identical halves. Um, I mean, it came down to a buzzer beater. I mean, it had everything. I mean, it really did. It had the comeback. You got your buzzer beater. Um, I don't know. A lot of people are saying, is the setup at Duke just not what it used to be? Maybe this coach is pretty good. Not he replaced a legend. Let's start there. Big shoes,
Yeah,
yeah, big shoes to fill. Um, and he's still getting them deep into the playoffs. I know Duke's
yeah,
used to
they made it
winning.
to the Sweet
Yeah,
16, so that's
yeah,
something to hold your head up high to.
no doubt,
Now,
no
if you're
doubt in the
one and
game.
done, then bring the questions up. If you're one and done, if you're Duke and you're one and done, then you bring up the questions. But
Right
going to the Sweet 16, you know, I mean, just one day.
now,
Just
not
when you
every
guys
day.
just
Yeah,
just when you guys day, Duke fans, but it's gonna be all right. Wrap your bandages and go on back, to where you people reside at.
there you go. I like it. So a lot of college basketball still left. Still a lot of money to be made. NBA, we're winding down. We are winding. Right? There isn't much
Yeah,
left um, of the
yeah.
season. And there was some really good basketball, a lot of money wagering back and forth. The Pistons keep doing Piston things. The Spurs are playing great. Um, the I'm trying to see who else. There was a couple other. I want to say. I mean, LA's playing well. Um, trying to see. Boston's coming back at the right time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum's, you know what I'm saying. So they got some. They
Yeah,
have some things going.
right. I feel like Boston. Feel like Boston is going to come out of the East. If Cade doesn't come back, then Detroit. Detroit's not the same without Cade on the court.
No,
So
definitely not though.
Boston might take that. And it's like I'm looking at the East right now, and I really can't. I really don't see a team. I really don't see a team that's going to be a big threat to them because the tandem, him and Jalen, is working out. So is working out so well because when one don't have it, the other one does. You know, and Jason has kind of let Jalen do his thing, and he just get his when basically when he wants to. So that dynamic of them, sharing the responsibility and giving each other, their room to shine, it's gonna be a problem for the East because New York, their bigs want to be shooting guards, so they're not really a threat.
It's
Cat
interesting.
is
You say
Go
that
ahead.
you say about you were talking about New York, and I
Right.
watched and I bring up a good I think it was Sunday night game. Um, it was New York against Oklahoma. Uh, Oklahoma won by 11, if I remember correctly, and it was close at times. It's just hard to. I just think they're leaving a lot on the court. New York's a really good team, but when you play Oklahoma, because they'll shoot from anywhere, they can shoot from anywhere, and there's multiple. It ain't just one player. I mean,
Yeah, it's multiple
you got to
players.
play a little hungry. I think when you play them, you got to pick up some offensive rebounds, some defensive
Yeah.
rebounds. Get them where because they're
Yeah.
just shooting the ball. You know, what I mean, they're picking up some rebounds if it's right in this vicinity. But I think
Right.
if they would change, because it seems like from watching them Sunday, and they're not the only ones that do this. Um, they try to keep up with OKC. instead of making
Yeah.
OKC. Now, one thing I will say about, and I mean, Oklahoma has beat them, but when they play Denver, Denver plays that they're going to play their basketball, beat them or they beat you, but they're not going to play.
Right.
They're not going to play their your basketball. So they're either going to
No.
beat you playing their basketball or they're going to lose to you. They're going to play that. It's ugly in the paint. Don't go there
Hmm.
if you are tender heart. You do not need to go in the paint because you're gonna earn every. I'm just saying the big
Yeah,
man plays.
you're gonna earn
Yeah.
every point in that paint.
Yes. And so that's my thing, and I think you're right. I'm just backing you up 100%. I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Knicks, depending, and it all goes to this, depending on the road to the championship. You know what I mean? All it takes is
Hmm.
one little somebody gets beat early, and now the path has changed, or there's an injury which changes everything. We know that. I mean,
Hmm.
Detroit could
Yep.
be
Yep.
Boston, I mean, that one injury to it, and that changes the whole demographics because then after you leave them, and I'm not saying it can't be done, I'm just saying it's not probable. I mean, do I really think Atlanta, Philadelphia, Orlando Magic, Miami Heat, or Charlotte Hornets really have a shot of going to the NBA Finals? It's possible, but I doubt it. I mean, I think who we're going to
Yeah.
see is going to be it's going to be clear. It's going to be 1 through 4. That's my opinion. That's why I think one of
Yeah.
those teams is going to be representing the East. Now, watch, we'll eat our words, and Charlotte will, I don't know, do something crazy. But for
Yeah.
most
Right.
likely, it's not
Right.
happening. It's not happening.
No.
So,
No.
um, so yeah, I totally agree with you. Now going to the West, Oklahoma and the Spurs are to me are probably the two top teams in the West.
Yeah.
Um, they separate 2 games. They're about 2 games out. Um, and I think, and you got the Lakers right there playing great ball. You got Denver
Hmm.
right behind them. The Minnesota Timberwolves are back from last year. Um, Houston Rockets are on that 6, and then Phoenix, the Clippers, Portland, and Golden State is 10. So they're all, and I think, yeah, and I really honestly, the Phoenix, the 7 through 10, they're in it. They've already made.
Hmm.
They've made at least they've made the begin. The entry level playoffs, as I like to say, because
Right.
the next closest team to Golden State, Portland, and the Clippers is Memphis Grizzlies, and they're 10 games out, and we don't have 10 games left.
Right.
So because we've already played. Well, I mean, most have played 75. Most people played 75, 74 games. So they're in it. So that's the 10. Now they may go, Golden State may shoot up to 8 or whatever, but that's about it. Now in actually it's the same thing in the East is the 1 through 10 have already been predetermined. Everyone else, Milwaukee, Chicago, Brooklyn, Washington, and Indiana have all been eliminated from the playoffs. So
Right.
you got your 10 that are going. So it should be interesting. But like you said, LA, by being a higher seed, the path is a little bit better, I
Yeah.
think.
The path. Yeah. The path is better. Um. Come playoff time, I see the Lakers probably winning one round, depending on the bigs.
Right.
Depending on our bigs, but I don't think they're starting to buy in to what uh they're starting to buy in, and Austin Reeves and Luca, continue to do their thing. Luca gotta It's not gonna happen. Luca gotta stay away from them refs. Every shot he complaining to the refs. He can't get every call. You know, it's
Right.
big boy basketball. You're gonna get elbowed a little bit. They're gonna especially during the playoffs, they let stuff slide a little
Yes.
bit. So as long as LeBron can play the position he's playing, just turn it on when he needs to. it's actually this is the scenario that we talked about this last week about this is the perfect scenario that he wanted, you know, to be the facilitator, to be the guy, and because he already know, his basketball awareness is out the roof. He knows when he needs to turn it on, deflect, let his players, do their thing, and I get in and do my thing when stuff start falling apart or when I feel the need to. And it'll probably get him to the second round. I say second round. They'll make it to the second round and they'll probably get eliminated. I don't think swept, but I think they'll get eliminated in the second round
See, I think it depends on
because
how it lines up is whether or not they
yeah.
get swept. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like the second round things will be shaping up, and I think coming in the second round, we're definitely going to see Oklahoma and we're going to see San Antonio, and that may be
Oh,
a little bit
absolutely.
much. Um, so I definitely am on board with that, and I'm going to tell you this too. One of the you always like to call them the dark horse. Don't sleep on Minnesota breaking somebody's heart. I'm
Yeah.
not saying to win it, but don't. Yeah, they got some bigs there that will make it tough on anybody coming in there, and
Oh
anything could
yeah.
happen. Yeah, so
Yeah,
there.
you gotta
That's a
work when you get in there.
yeah. That's one of those. That is definitely one of those spots. Now go into college men's real quick.
Hmm.
Saturday, Illinois, Connecticut. Illinois is the favorite, even though they're number three, and Connecticut is getting 2 points. I like Illinois, Lou. I
Hmm.
know Connecticut's going to come to play, um, but I kind of like Illinois. The over's 139. I think that's doable too.
Uh-huh.
It's some doable numbers. Like I said, I like Illinois.
Hmm.
Um, but Connecticut ain't no slouch. I'm just saying. But in this instance, I like.
In this
I want.
matchup, I'm with you on that. In this matchup, uh, kind of like Illinois. I'm with you on that.
Who do you like in Michigan and Arizona?
Mm.
You think Michigan is the truth?
I really do. I really think Michigan. I think Michigan can pull this off. It's Arizona's not going to make it easy for them,
No. Oh no, no,
but
no.
I think Michigan can pull it off.
They're not
If they
favored
stick
by
to the game
much.
plans, not by much. So they're pretty close. They're pretty evenly matched. But man, because they're both number one seeds. Michigan's
Yep.
35-3, Arizona 36-2. Uh
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
they got it at what do you think about this? The spread is Michigan minus 1.5
That's
for a
tight.
total of 150. Yeah, it's tight. So
I would almost say take them out if you're going to take. Trying to get back there. Let me see. Um, men's. Hold on. If you're going to me, if you take Michigan, you might as well take the minus 125.
mhm.
Um, I don't know because the points it could be 2 points. We just
Yeah,
saw we just saw um, UConn beat Duke by 1 point, and if you were minus
one
one and a
point.
half, you would have lost. You would have lost it. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
got action. I think 157 is the over. So I break it down in my head. Not saying it's the logs. 157 is like after the first quarter when I go live, I kind of like watch, is it 30-30? So that means
hmm,
there's 90 points left. I kind of always kind of keep track of like, oh, they need 90 points, or did it come up? Did it come down? Because if you go, hey, they need 90 more points in the second half, well, they only scored 60 in the front. Just kind of pay attention to um, what they've already scored, what it's leaning towards, and if it's not too much of a blowout, are they going to pull everybody? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to keep up with. Let me ask you
right.
this: if Michigan gets by Who do you like better? Who do you think's better, Michigan or UConn?
Hmm.
I think, to be honest with you, Lou,
I think Michigan is better.
I think
I
a
think
little bit,
Michigan is better. A little, just a little bit.
but UConn's
Just
coming
a
off
little bit.
that. But UConn's coming off that emotion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They
It
coming off
could
that
be,
Duke wave. Yeah.
man.
So that they could
But
have the momentum to bring it to Michigan too.
if Michigan can get
So
by Arizona,
yeah,
I'm not
if
taking anything away
Michigan
from
gets
Arizona.
by Arizona, yeah. If they beat Arizona, then because that's a tall task too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I said, um, and what's so crazy is, like I said, UConn at the half, you could have got UConn with points. You know what I mean? Plus, if you would have bet them
Yeah.
on the money line, I can't remember what the money line is, but it was pretty substantial because they were behind by 20 points, which wasn't a bad, Vegas followed the line. I mean, you can't just keep put them as the favorites. They're down by 20. But they came back, like I said, in that second half, and they just came back. You know what I mean? They came back. They were making a lot of mistakes. They missed a lot of shots, and they came back. They cleaned it up, and
Mhm.
I don't know. You just have to. One thing about sports is emotions. Emotions sometimes can carry the little guy a little bit further, or make him. Like I
Yeah.
said, all it comes down to is if they believe, there's nothing you're gonna do. You know what I mean? You can
Right.
be like, "Wow,
Right.
you shouldn't be here." Yeah, okay, cool. We because they ain't no joke. It ain't like they're just some Cinderella team. This is a good team.
Right.
This UConn team's really good.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We will see. We will see. Okay. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night. Tony G, Big Lou on the Sports Book. Don't forget to check us out on our YouTube channel. And we will be doing more and more sports on KHAM Radio. Check out for our drops, scores. I'll be doing them. Big Lou will be doing them. And again, if you want to reach out to us or reach out to the station, whether you have an event coming up or you need some announcements made or you want whatever you want, from a DJ to entertainment, from advertising on the TV, the radio, they cover it all. Just hit us up on Facebook, on the Sportsbook page, or the KM Radio page, and someone will get back with you in a very short time. And again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Big Lou, you have a great night, man. I'll catch you next week
All
right
right.
here on the Sportsbook every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Tony G, Big Lou on the biggest station in the land, KM Radio, where we go ham.
Damn.
Boom. That'll work.